going to be doing another story time video. And this is going to be a paranormal story time video. So, as you guys know, I live in the Silicon Valley. And I moved over here about 2 years ago, a year and a half, something like that. So the day before I hung out with Keenan, I was sitting in my room and I could have sworn I heard my dad say Steph. Now my dad's been dead for about 2 years now. And I knew it wasn't him because my dad never called me by my name. He had a nickname for me. And I just kind of wrote it off as, you know what, whatever. I'm just hearing things, whatever. Then the next day rolls around and Keenan's at my apartment and we're hanging out. And all of a sudden we hear a knock at the door. And it was a soft knock. And I didn't think anything of it. And I got up, went to answer the door. My friend was supposed to come over that day, so I, got up to answer it. And when I opened the door from behind me, I heard my ex-boyfriend, his voice from behind me. And I, turned around, and Keenan was standing there. I was like, did you just say my name? And he was like, no. And I'm like, did you hear that? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, that is so weird. Now, granted, there's nobody at the door right now. And, I was really scared. And I was like, oh my gosh, I do not want to stay here. And so then later that night when I was, home by myself, I have my own room. So, during this time, I was hanging out with, I was rooming with my old roommate. We were laying in bed. We have separate beds, obviously, but we were, laying in bed, and she looks at me, and she's like, Steph, are you okay? And, I told her what happened. She was like, oh, that's so weird that you say that. I keep hearing knocks around the apartment. And I was like, that's so weird, why didn't you ever say anything to me? And she said, oh, I just didn't want to scare you, or I didn't want you to think I was crazy. Oh, and if I remember, I will have Keenan put in his clip right here. Bye.
One of our friends was coming over, and she was showing me something in her room. I'm not sure what, but he was supposed to come over, and we were in her room, and basically I heard, and she heard, I heard it. I was more towards this area, and she was kind of over here, but I heard a knocking, and it was 3 times. I distinctly remember it was a kind of a faint, as if they was in another room of some sort, but you can clearly hear it still. So then she went out to the room near her front door. I don't think we heard it again. I think because she thought our friend was at the door already. Oh, he's early. And she opened up the door, and I didn't hear it, but she did. But it was right next to the door, and it said her name and his voice, which I kind of already knew a little background of how evil spirits can be. Some can be really not maniacal and stuff. So when I heard her say, it sounded like our friend's voice, and it was something different, I knew, it wasn't, this is not a friendly thing. It's something very, evil in her apartment. So, I was there for the whole thing.
That is basically one of my paranormal experiences. There is a lot more that are very scary. I hope to never encounter anything like that ever again. If you want to hear another paranormal story time, leave a comment down below, and I will do another one. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!